Hey, you guys, I was shuffling through my paperwork and I bumped into some notes that I did earlier this week for a video. So I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and bang this one out because it's a pretty easy one. I don't want anyone to be misled about their progression of being over a relationship. And sometimes we might think we're over things, and maybe we're not as over things as we think. But either way, in this video, I want to give you guys some type of measuring stick. And I've made other content to help you guys with this as well. Another good video on my channel, as a matter of fact, especially for those of you who have experienced narcissistic abuse. That video was about measuring if your brain, how far your brain had healed from the narcissistic abuse. So that's a really nice video to couple with this one right here. All right. So this one isn't so much so focused specifically on the brain, but more like your behaviorisms and your mentality, which is, indirectly or directly connected with your brain anyway. But that one was just like really about the brain and the trauma bond. All right. So are you really over it? Are you really over them? Let's take my test, you guys. So I have a list of things that you can ask yourself. If you're doing any of these things, then you're not over it yet. All right. So that's a little reality check. You have a little more work to do. It's not completely cleansed out of your system at that point, you guys. All right. So number one, are you still actually waiting for them? You waiting for them to physically come back into your life? Are you waiting on them emotionally? Are you still emotionally invested in the situation? Are you allowing them to keep you in some type of limbo, while they're with another source? And, a lot of times this is when we're convinced that, this is my twin flame and love hurts and all this other stuff. And we allow people to put us in limbo and put our life on hold while they're out doing this and that. So are you not really exploring or open to new connections? Are you still basically saving a space for them and putting your life on hold? And there's a difference between, you know what, I want to just date myself right now. I want to heal from this relationship before I embark on new opportunities. Okay, there's a difference between those two energies, and I'm waiting for this person to change. I'm waiting for this person to see my worth and my love. I'm waiting to reconnect with them because, there's a fantasy that they're your happily ever after, or, you put so much time into the situation until you just can't even see that this isn't going to be your happy ending, so to speak, as far as the relationship goes. So yeah, are you still waiting for them? You're definitely not over it if you're doing any of that type of stuff. Number two, you guys, are you waiting for them to provide closure? Now that's different from waiting to reconcile with them, but are you waiting for them to provide a closure? Are you waiting for them to provide explanations? Are you waiting to see them get their karma? Are you waiting for them to provide an apology? So number two is, are you waiting for them to provide, period. Waiting for them means, needing them to come back into your energy. So you're definitely not over it if you're needing them for closure, explanations, apology, or even if you need to wait to see their karma. You're not over it. Number three, do you feel you have something to prove to them? Are you working your life? Are you making sure that you post things publicly because you want them to see it, because you have something to prove to them? If you feel like you still have something to prove to them, you're not over it. Okay? Number four, you guys, are they renting space in your mind? Are you consumed with them in most of your conversations? Just think about the conversations you're having with your friends, your confidants, and, what's running through your mind most of your day. Is it still about them? You're not over it. Okay? Number five, are you still obsessing over their moves, where they're going, who they're doing it with, who they're seeing next, And this kind of ties into the social media, watching their social media. If you're still doing these things, you're not over it. Okay. Are you stuffing your feelings, you guys, with drinks, with one night stands, with drugs, and rebounding into other relationships? You're not over it. Number 7, you guys, do you feel like their name is in your mouth a lot? You're not over it. Number 8, are you unable to keep the no contact? You know, there's still a lot of conversations. There's no break or pause. You're not over it. Now, for that one, I will sidebar for those of you who are parallel parenting or, you know, maybe going through a divorce, or there may be situations where some type of contact may need to be had during a situation. It really just depends. But generally speaking, if it's a situation where you can be no contact and you're not, then you're not over it. Now, number 9, this is going to be the obvious one, you guys. Are you still hooking up with them and having sex? Even if you feel like you're not emotionally attached. You are. All right. So if you're hooking up and you're still being physically intimate with them, you definitely not over it, you guys. So that is my test of, 9 areas that you can rate yourself and trying to figure out, are you really over it or them? For those of you who are hopping in on a back end, you can go ahead and, just go back in to the beginning parts, and YouTube will definitely re-upload. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Over 700 videos here on your channel to help you get over your ex. And I've written books, you guys, on this topic, and they're available in hard copy and ebook on Amazon. All right. My first book that I ever wrote is on Amazon about getting over your exes. I'm going to provide the information to that in the comment section, probably, because these live streams don't really allow you to attach things to the end of them. So I have to look into that. But it's the X Factor Poetry Edition Volume 1, X Factor Poetry Edition Volume 2. Those are 2 really good positive books to feed your brain and your mind and your essence as you get through the healing process of the breakup and having the right type of perceptions, because it's not a doom and gloom, and it's about illumination and transitioning, and that's what the books are describing. All right. With that being said, you guys, I want you guys to get over it. So if you are flunking this test, take advantage of all the content on here. And if the YouTube videos aren't enough, I do offer one-on-one coaching. The website is right there, www.lakiacrawford.com. I know that there was, when I was healing from narcissistic abuse in particular, I had 2 therapists, a counselor and a therapist that I was using to get through my season. And you see that worked out pretty great for me. So I highly recommend, because there are things that you're going to need to address beyond that relationship for sure. And it's just going to help put you together and give you a solid foundation towards getting what you actually want and deserve. All right. Through the growing pains, you guys. With that being said, thank you for tuning in. And I will be on here to do some more live chat and get these contents out. And you can catch up because there's quite a few of them that'll be up today. Take your time listening to them. And all the other videos on the channel, feel free to take what you can to help you on your journey. With that being said, you guys, thanks for tuning in, and see you in the next live chat.